Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're doing a drugstore summer glowy, you fill in the blanks look. So if you want to see how to get this look, then just keep watching. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the summer look. So first I'm going to prep my skin with the Pixi Hydrating Milky Mist. I love this stuff. So I'm gonna skip primer on here only because I don't have a drugstore primer. I really want to try a couple that sound really nice, but because I don't have one, I'm just gonna skip that in this video. So to begin my glow, I normally just use a primer that is luminous, like the Becca Backlit Primer and the Dr. Jart Luminizing. These are ones I normally use, but they're high-end. So instead, I'm gonna try, this might not work because it's not a good tone for me, but this is the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Glow Armor, and this is in the shade Daybreak. So this might not work for me because it is pretty pink, but we'll try it because I normally like to go gold tone because my skin is a yellow undertone, but that's okay. We'll try this. Ooh, baby. We're gonna hope this works, but I'm very pink. Okay. Next, foundation. I have a couple of different I would recommend. A couple that I would recommend is the CYO Long Lasting Foundation. I ran out of this and I cannot find it anywhere. So I'm just keeping the bottle to remind myself to buy it whenever I do find it. But this is actually a really good foundation. I think it's at Walgreens. And then I have the Physicians Formula Healthy Elixir. This is a really nice, I'd say medium coverage. I'm not going to use it because I want to have more coverage today. And then I actually really love the Makeup Revolution Stick Foundation. This one is just a little pink tone, so I need to find one that's not as pink tone for me. So I'm not going to use that one either. So what I am going to use is the Light Illusion by Flower Beauty. This is in the shade L1, which is slightly too dark for me, and it's their lightest. So I am going to mix in the L'Oreal Infallible 201. This one's too pink tone, but because this one's so yellow toned, it'll work out fine for me. But I absolutely love this foundation by Flower Beauty. I just wish they would come out with a lighter shade. Like, I'm shocked that I'm that white, but that's okay. We can blend it down our neck, we can hide it. And then I'm just going to use my Morphe sponge. This is one of my favorites. I do want to try and branch out and buy other ones and try them from different brands. Like I heard Flower Beauty has one that people are saying is good. Eco Tools has one I want to try. Okay, so that's the coverage I want. I know for a lot of people, summer is like light coverage, you know, really dewy. No, I still want my coverage. Like, I still need my coverage. I need to hide my redness, and I actually want a little more. One thing I really like about this foundation is you can build it up and it doesn't look cakey, except in the spots that it's really dry skin, like here. Alright, next is concealer. So for concealer, there's a couple of different options. You can do the ColourPop No Filter Concealer, Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define, or I have the Flower Beauty one. I'm going to use this because I feel like out of those, this one creases the least amount. So I'm going to use this. And I'm going to set it with the Wet n Wild bronzer. This is in Reserve Your Cabana, and it says it's a bronzer, but I mean, can you see how white this is? And it does have a slight sheen to it, so for the summer I really like it. So I'm going to use that to set under my eyes. So I did a review on this concealer, and actually I think I did it on both the concealer and foundation, which I will link it up here. But the more I've used this, I actually like it more than I did in the video. So in the video I couldn't stand it because it is gray tone, which it is. I don't know if you can see on camera, but in person I can see this is very gray toned. But the more you work with it, like blending out wise, the grayness goes away and it does just lighten up really nicely. I'm going to say the same thing with this concealer as I feel with the foundation. They need to make a lighter shade. They don't have very many shades in general, so they need to broaden. They need to go lighter but also darker. So I actually decided against setting my under eyes because I'm gonna let it actually crease so then I can uncrease it later. So I'm going to move on to contouring. So in the summer I like to cream contour because, I don't know, I'm dry and it just sounds nicer to me. So the only cream contouring I have right now, drugstore and high-end, is this from Physicians Formula. It's a Super BB hashtag Insta-Ready cream, and it has a dark, medium, and light to basically highlight as you contour. I don't really like that aspect. That's why it's kind of, you know, crooked, because I mostly just use that part. But I do have this. If you don't feel comfortable with cream contouring or cream bronzer contour, whatever you want to call it, but you still don't want to be as powdery, this is actually really nice. It's by e.l.f. I don't know what it's called. It's their like Aqua Infused line, and this is a bronze pink beige is all it says it's called. So it is a bronzer and a blush, but they're powder, but they're kind of not, because they're aqua infused, water infused. They are kind of a cream in a way, but they're really nice. So if you don't want to do this, I would do this. Are they close in shades? Yeah, they're pretty close in shades, so I'll do one on each side. So we will do the Physicians Formula on this side, and up here, and then let's buff this out first. As long as you work quickly with this, it does buff out pretty nicely, but you do want to work fairly quick. So then we're going to go on this side and do this, and I think I'm actually going to try to just use my sponge to put it in here and then pack it on. Not too bad. This is coming off a little more orangey, but I think that's just the side of my face, because I notice with powder bronzer, the side of my face always pulls my red underneath more than this side does. Oh, I really like this. I only ever use the Physicians Formula because I do really like that one too, but I actually really like this with the sponge. I'm going to go back and try to clean up any creasing that happened in my concealer and then set it right after. Oh yeah, there's creasing. I'm just going to do like a light wash of this. So I don't want too much powder on, but definitely don't want this creasing. And I'm just using that bronzer, like I said, the Reserve Your Cabana. Alright, I'm going to set places that normally come off first, like my chin. And then you can skip this part if you're dry skin, but for me, I don't know why I physically can't skip powdering. I don't know why, it just, something about not powdering bugs me. And so, so I'm just going to do a really light wash of this all over. And this does, like I said, have some shimmer in it, so it'll also highlight my whole face. And this doesn't really have too much pigment to it, so it's not going to really cover the bronze that we did. As you saw before, I put a lot of foundation on my neck, so I'm going to go in with the Coty Airspun to set my neck, because I do not want that to feel wet all day. Alright, so for bronzer, I really like Physicians Formula. So I know this is limited edition and I don't know if it's still around. So I'm going to show you it, but I'm not going to use it. So this is a really nice one if you're really light. This is their light to medium one. You can buy this color separately, I believe, so you could pick that up. But I also have the original one. So I'm going to use the original one. It just says light bronzer, so maybe this is the same color. No, they're slightly different. And I'm just going to buff this all over my face. Okay, So now I'm going to go into blush. So for blush, I am going to use the limited edition thing because I'm obsessed with it. But some other options are that e.l.f. palette I showed you, this aqua infused one. You could use the blush. It does look really bright on camera, but in person it's not as bright. And because it's a cream, you could put it on very softly. Some other ones I really like are Wet n Wild's. This one I have is called Rosé Champagne. So these are actually really nice too, and some of them have a slight sheen to them, which for summer, I love blushes that have a like glitter, or not glitter, but like a, yeah, basically have a highlight in them. So that's why I'm gonna use this. It says it's a butter blush in Natural Glow. I need to know if this is sold separately, because when this is gone out of this limited edition one, I'm gonna be so sad. I hate blush, but I love this one. So I'm gonna be really upset if it's gone. And this does, it's like a peach color, but it also has like gold reflex in it. So we're just gonna put that on. Oh, I love this, which is so funny because I hate blush, but not this blush. It's like I want to put this everywhere because it's got the glow. Okay, so if this is still available, I would definitely pick it up before it's no longer available. And if anyone knows if this blush is sold separately, please let me know. Okay, I'm gonna go back in with the Reserve Your Cabana because I like to clean up afterwards because I'm normally fairly sloppy when I do my face makeup. So I just like to go in with something similar to this shade and just kind of clean up everywhere so it's not as crazy. Same thing like if it's too intense, like I said, this side always pulls my red underneath more than this one does. So a lot of times I do have to go back over this with a color like this so that it's not as intense. And it's really nice doing it with this powder in the summer because this has a glow to it. So it just adds more glow to my already glowy face. Alright, next, let's move on to highlighter. I just bought this and I'm obsessed. I haven't really tried any Pixie things except this hydrating mist spray, and I was so obsessed with this. I was like, okay, I need to try more Pixie things. So I did see on somebody's Instagram, I think, that these just came out. These are Pixie by Petra, and it is a glossy or a glowy gossamer duo. I think that's what this is. But this is in the shade Subtle Sunrise. This is so pretty. I don't really use the pink shade. I haven't even touched the pink shade because I'm not normally a pink person, even though we did a pink highlighter on the bottom. I'm not normally a pink person. So I actually used this shade. Oh, it's so pretty. Like, oh, I love this. So I'm definitely gonna have to try more Pixie things. They're at Target, and so they're affordable. But I don't think that they are, because when I think affordable, I think of like, you know, really cheap, like a $7 highlighter. And granted, these are 2 shades, but I think they're $12. So like, they're affordable, but I would say they're in between high-end and drugstore price-wise, but they are at a drugstore. I'm gonna go ahead and set my face now because I hate how my eyeshadow looks after I've set it and it gets in it. So we're just gonna go ahead and set my face now. So I'm gonna do the Milani Make It Last. I haven't used that in a while. I'm gonna do my brows, but I'm actually gonna do them off camera so I can speed through them faster. But what I'm going to be using is this BH Cosmetics Studio Pro Shape and Define Duo Brow Pencil. So it's got a definer on one end and then a fine tip on the other. So I'm going to use that, and then I'm going to put on top the NYX Tinted Brow Mascara. So I will be right back. Okay, so I decided not to use this brow pencil, although I have used it and I actually really do like it. But I just wanted to go more natural brow, and since I have pretty decent brows, I figured I didn't want to do anything too out there or too intense because I want it just to be like more natural. So I just used the NYX Tinted Mascara instead because, like I said, I have pretty decent brows as it is. So, alright, let's move on to eyeshadow. So I have a couple of different eyeshadow options of what, when I think eyeshadow in summer, I think orangey colors, like peachy. So, one of the palettes you could use is the Maybelline Lemonade palette, which I did do a review on this, so if you want to see it, I will link it up here. But it has a lot of nice, you know, summer shades, or what I consider summer shades, especially because there's so many peachies and there's a yellow in there. And then one that I actually just reviewed not that long ago, which I'll link it up here also, is by BH Cosmetics. It's their Nuevo Neutrals. I don't know, I always say that wrong. And it looks like this, which this does have blushes in it as well. I'm going to go in with a mixture of this one and this one, even though I just did a review on this not that long ago. So I'm going to take the shade. I'm actually going to take the blush shade because I feel like this is a really nice light peach. So I'm actually going to take the blush shade first, and I'm going to fluff that everywhere. So you probably are going to be mad because this is going to be a basic look, but when I think of summer, I think basic. So that's what we're going to do. Alright, so then I'm going to go in with the bright orange shade in this palette. And I'm going to still use a fluffy brush and put that on. I feel like I've been giving so much hype to BH Cosmetics lately, but that's my first time actually using their stuff, and it's really good. I'm going to go in with the shade over here, which is a little darker. I feel like this is the look I did last time with this. Alright, I'm going to use that shade to deepen up the crease. And I'm going to go back in with the first brush with no extra product on it and just buff everything. These colors are turning a different color than I expected. I think they're getting pretty dark. Alright, so now I'm going to go in with the lid, which I'm actually going to use this. It's a liquid metal by Catrice, and this is in the shade California Creamin'. Hopefully this doesn't have to be set down. I've never used it. Guess we'll find out. And I'm just going to use the wand it comes with. Oh, these are pretty. Huh. That's interesting. I don't know how I feel about this. Like, it's really sheared out so then you can see all the lines. Let's try to blend this out so there's not all the swipes. I just feel like it lost like all its color. We're just gonna try to use a brush. That looks like crap. Alright, let's try to set this instead. Yeah. Alright, we're gonna go with the Soph X palette. There's this really light shimmery shade that I feel like will probably match. So we're gonna try to just pack this on top. Hope that helps. That doesn't help. Alright, I'm gonna think this is a fail. We're gonna just try to get this all blended together though. Like, it doesn't even blend well. One side is not looking too bad, but this side it's like pretty bad. Alright, we're just gonna move on and do the bottom. We're gonna take the very first light peach shade and run that on the bottom lash line. I'm gonna go ahead and say these Catrice liquid metals are a flop from me. This side wasn't actually too bad, but this side was really bad. It is pretty bad down here, so I feel like if you don't use very much of these, they look good. However, they're supposed to be a liquid metal, and it's the metal part of it that is the problem. So I'm gonna say these are not my cup of tea, and I do have two shades. Let's move on. Alright, so next is mascara, and the mascara I like to use is the Maybelline Total Temptation. So let's go ahead and pop those on. Alright, we're going to see if this works. This is the number 7 Liquid Matte Lips in the shade Captivative. Okay, so that is this lip. I do have a video where I did a lip swatch with these. There's 6 shades. It's a new collection. And I also am having a giveaway with number 7, so I will link that video up here. The giveaway is actually on my Instagram, so if you want to take a look at that, the picture is sidewalk chalk saying number 7 giveaway. So if you want to see that, then take a look at that. But this is the look. It was a fail, which is funny because I liked every single product in this except the Catrice liquid. It's funny how one thing can ruin your whole look. But that's alright, that's what happens. It's makeup, we can take it off, it's fine. So that is all I have for this video, so thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next one.